Hey everybody, I am Danny Otto. Welcome into Fantasy versus Reality, the show where we give a few theories and then we tell you guys, do we think these are going to happen or do we think these are never going to happen? So to join me, to help me figure this all out, we've got producer Paul.
What's going on? Welcome to the world of imagination.
What I wanted to do was take some of our favorite characters and kind of ask some questions about them post the events of WandaVision and kind of see what do we think's actually going to happen with these characters. Here's my first one. We're going to start with the most obvious, Wanda. So Wanda, we left off with her reading the Darkhold, figuring this out in a secluded cabin in the middle of nowhere. So Wanda studying the Darkhold will be what releases the big baddie for Doctor Strange 2. Now, do you think this is fantasy or do you think this is reality?
I think this is definitely reality. The one Doctor Strange reference that we got in the final episode of WandaVision was while Agatha was talking about the Darkhold, and she says that Wanda is more powerful than Doctor Strange. However, Wanda is going to destroy the world. So I think that is a definite reality. Doctor Strange 2.
Ooh, I totally agree. I think this is absolutely reality. I think Wanda has so much more to do with Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, and I'm excited to find out how she releases it or what she has to do to start the events in motion for Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. All right, so moving on to the next character, we got White Vision. One of my favorite scenes actually in the finale was when we had Imaginary Vision and White Vision kind of just hanging out, talking. The statement I wanted to make is White Vision will be on the Avengers team by the time of the next Avengers movie. Do you think this is fantasy or reality?
I'm going to say that is a fantasy. I mean, he might be on his way to the Avengers facility right now. We really don't know because he kind of just takes off at the end of WandaVision. But we don't know when the next Avengers movie is going to be, and Vision tends to die before we get too far along. So I don't think he's going to live that long.
I'm going to have to disagree with you. I think this is reality. I think we're going to get, this is what we wanted. This is a Vision without the Mind Stone, so we don't have to worry about the Infinity Stones anymore. And I think this is how they're going to bring back Vision, the character that we know and love. He now has his memories, so he's one step closer. So I think this is reality. We have to move on to one of the fun characters of WandaVision, and that is Evan Peters' character, Ralph Bohner, aka Quicksilver, I guess, kind of. Anyway, so the statement I wanted to make is that we haven't seen the last of Mr. Bohner. Is this fantasy or reality?
You know, I'm very much trying to avoid making a joke about Mr. Bohner, but I think it's a fantasy to say that he is going to show up again. I think that it was a very clever piece of casting on behalf of the WandaVision team. However, we've had our Quicksilver. He is gone, and we shall not be seeing him again.
I'm so torn with this one because I want to agree with you. I want it to be reality because I want to know that I want it to be that he's just now a random person with the powers of Quicksilver, and that's how they kind of start bringing in more people with powers. I guess I'm gonna have to lean more towards reality, but I'm really on the fence on this one. So moving on to our next character, we have Monica Rambeau, and where we left off with her was the mid-credit scene with her responding from a message from SWORD, which we assume was Samuel L. Jackson's character, Nick Fury. And what we're guessing is that the next thing that's going to happen with her is she's going to have a meeting with Nick Fury. We will see Monica in the Miss Marvel Disney Plus series. Fantasy or reality?
I think that is going to be a definite reality. We will probably see her next in Captain Marvel 2. However, while introducing the new Miss Marvel through the Disney Plus series, I think that they're going to head down the same route as they went with WandaVision by bringing in some side characters from other series. Eventually, I think she'll get her own property to be the lead of. However, Miss Marvel, I think, is a definite must for Monica Rambeau.
I absolutely agree with you on this. I think this is reality. I think we're going to see Monica Rambeau in many different properties throughout the MCU moving forward, getting us more accustomed to her, or we saw her kind of come into her own throughout this series. So I think this is definitely reality. The events of WandaVision took place in New Jersey. Miss Marvel is in New York. She's very close. She's still related to Sword. She could very easily be put on the case to figure out whatever events lead into the Miss Marvel Disney Plus series. The next person we have is Agatha Hartness. She is under a spell, and she is now officially a real nosy neighbor, still in the town and living there. Wanda will have to call upon Agatha sooner rather than later for help and have to unlock that spell that she has on her. Do you think this is fantasy, or do you think this is reality?
If it's not a reality, I think it's a mistake. I think people latched on to Agatha the very second that tune started to play. And honestly, we know that Elizabeth Olsen is coming back as Wanda in Multiverse of Madness. It's going to be very heavy on magic, and the visual effects, I think, are going to be really next level. So it'd be just an absolute wasted opportunity if they're not bringing back Agatha for that next Doctor Strange movie. I think we're definitely going to be seeing her sooner rather than later.
Absolutely agree with you. I think fan favorite Agatha Hartness. Everybody latched onto that song. It was everywhere. I mean, I definitely had it stuck in my head for a very long time. But I beyond that, I think she's a very good character to kind of play that good bad side, almost like not a replacement for Loki, but another version of Loki, where sometimes she's a villain, sometimes she helps the heroes when she has another motive for helping them, type of thing. And I think if they use her right, she could be in pretty much any movie after those events. I mean, she could disappear and then reappear in any movie for the MCU moving forward. Last but not least, we have the twins. The twins still exist. Wanda is not going to bring them into existence again. They still exist, and she's basically going to bring them back into our dimension. Do you think this is fantasy? Do you think this is reality?
I don't know that it's necessarily true that we will see the twins within our own reality. However, Marvel is opening up into other realities very, very soon. So I definitely think we're going to be seeing the twins again. And I do think that we will eventually see their adult versions of those characters come to light. And honestly, if we're not going to get another Quicksilver to replace the Aaron Taylor Johnson dead Quicksilver and the fake Evan Peters Pietro character, then I think that that's the next best thing, is to use either Tommy or Billy, I forget which one, as the speedster of the MCU.
You technically gave me an answer, but you didn't really give me an answer. I think the statement is reality. I think it would be a very, very interesting concept if we found out that the twins still exist, but they were somehow transported to another dimension. But I read an article on Screen Rant that basically said this: what if they got transported to another dimension, say the dream dimension, which has enemies in it already, and one particular enemy in the dream dimension is a rumored big baddie villain of the upcoming Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, which is Nightmare. So what if the sounds of the twins that we heard at the post-credit scene for the end of WandaVision wasn't just the memory of them, but was actually Wanda hearing them from this other dimension and her trying to pull them or open a door to the dream dimension? And what if she opens that door and Nightmare comes through with the twins, or is attached to the twins in some way? And that is what triggers the events of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. All right, guys, so those are our thoughts on the characters post the events of WandaVision. Let us know in the comments what you thought. And as always, like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you can keep up to date with all of our future Fantasy versus Reality videos. And for Paul and myself, thank you guys for joining us on this video. We'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
To this. I was so close. Damn it.
Forward. I was so looking forward.
All right, guys. So that's what we came up for.
God damn it, Danny!
Oh, you're next.
Hi, I'm Paul, and this is my Tinder profile. This is fantasy versus reality. This. Shit. Drink my hard seltzer.
Let us know in the comments. What do you guys think? It was so close.
Sorry, I was picking up the dog before. Hey, this is Paul. No. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Is that about it?
That's what? That's
no,
nothing like what he just said.
These will just be
No, you guys got it fucking wrong, man.
right.
All right.
Theories are bullshit, man.
All right, guys. So those are our answers to the theories on. I got way too wordy on that one. Sorry. All right, I'm gonna go.
You said 5 words.
I know, but I was on track to say way more words than you thought. Let us know in the comments what you thought. All right, guys. So those are our thoughts on all of the characters post the events of WandaVision.
Yeah, they're great. Paul, thanks for being here. Cut to just empty chair. Oh, he left. Oh, he's gone. He already left.
Son of a bitch. Cut it.